the show now is Josh Henry, who picked up a huge win at Shamrock FC 343, a round two TKO victory over Josh Augustine in the main event. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on here.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on, especially after such a big win over a tough guy. I've seen some of the articles post fight, and a lot of people are saying that this is a big upset. Do you agree with that? Did you feel like an underdog going into this fight?
No, it's not an upset to me. I was an out of towner going into his realm. So some people consider that an upset, but to me, I wasn't worse than him. We were on the same level playing field. I came into it as an out of towner, and I left the victor.
How did you feel kind of playing that black hat role going into, a crowd where, people might be booing you and cheering for him? Does that make you fight even better as a mixed martial artist?
Yeah, I thrive off of it. I love it. If there's haters out there, they make me work even harder. So I like it. I like going into other people's house and kind of putting on the show and doing what I do best.
What was the worst thing you heard walk into the cage? Did anybody yell anything bad, or were you too zoned in to pay attention?
Before the fight, I didn't really hear anything. Everything stayed pretty good. After the fight, his crowd got pretty mouthy and throwing stuff at me and flipping me off and stuff. And so you see me in the middle of the cage, flip them back off after the fight. They were pretty pissed their boy lost, but that was the only disrespect. Other than that, it was all pretty good. Everybody's pretty respectful, and it was a nice time. So
And nobody was dumb enough to try and get a piece of you when you were walking out of the cage, right?
no, I was waiting for it, but nobody tried it. So I was ready, but no, nobody was dumb enough to try that shit.
Very good. Well, tell me, what was the game plan going into this one against Josh?
To just be able to just fight wherever the fight went. I knew he was going to be a long fighter, obviously being 6'1" and me being 5'4". I figured he'd try to use his reach. I will give him credit. He was longer than I anticipated for. Um, so the first 2 minutes of the fight, I was kind of having to adapt and rethink about what I was going to do and kind of move on because his reach, it kind of surprised me. I knew he'd have it, but it was longer than I expected. So I had to kind of adapt and move on and then overcome those challenges, and I pulled it out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what the adjustments you made in the fight were, but you pretty much answered that question right there. Was that difficult though to kind of figure that out and get that range?
No, no, I trained with some taller people for this fight for it. I just didn't expect him to use it as well as he did. But it wasn't necessarily difficult. He just that's part of to me. That's part of being an MMA fighter. We train in mixed martial arts. We don't train anything specific. So being able to adapt and overcome challenges like that, to me, I consider it just part of what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be able to adapt, overcome, use many different martial arts to win my fight, and that's what I did.
Now you landed a big body shot in the second round that crumbled him, and you got the TKO victory. Was that a liver shot?
Yes, yes. I had been working that the whole fight. I had thrown a couple. I've watched the fight many times, and I had thrown a couple of kicks to the body. I had thrown a couple other previous hooks to the body. For me, being a shorter guy, I work the body a lot. I can't always aim for headshots all the time. So I'm big on working legs. I was tearing up his legs, working his body. I had to tear apart his body, not just aim for his head. And I took that body apart. Though I love them liver shots. They're awesome. My boy Mike Tyson, I love watching his stuff, and I learned from him. So I love that body shot.
Oh man, I've been hitting the liver a couple of times in sparring. It is not fun. Have you ever been hitting the liver where it's kind of put you down to your knees?
Oh yeah, I've taken a few. We train a lot of body shots at my gym, and so of course I've taken some from some of my guys. And growing up, I did a lot of Taekwondo national stuff, and I had been taking a couple of backspin side kicks to my liver that have taken me out in tournaments as well too. It's
Mm.
not fun. It's not fun.
So when you landed the shot, did you know it was over at that point?
When he went down, I knew it was going to be over. He was tapping as he went down. But my rule of thumb is you don't stop fighting until the ref tells you to. So I saw it, but I kept throwing punches until the ref pushed me off of him. I don't stop fighting until that ref tells me to stop.
Is this the biggest win of your career? I mean, it's a good name fighter. He had a really good record. Do you feel like this is the signature win you've had so far?
It's up there. It's up there. I wouldn't say. I guess I don't necessarily call any of them the biggest, but I would consider this the biggest as far as getting my mind back right and understanding that I'm going to keep tearing it up in the fight world. I've been taking a break for a while, but this win to me actually it's not just a big name victory, but it's just knowing that what I'm doing right now, it's working and I'm on the right track and I'm going to surprise the MMA world. You watch this 2023 this year, you're going to see me in some big headlines. I guarantee it.
How do you like fighting for the Shamrock FC promotion? I know as far as regional promotions go across the country, they're one of the biggest and the best. How nice is it to compete for them?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Every bit of dealing with Shamrock and all the members that I dealt with going through the process, they all were very polite. I loved the show. I had a great experience fighting for Shamrock. Everybody that I dealt with was very polite, very respectful. Even my opponent, like I give it to Josh Augustine. He was a great guy. We actually, we had talked before the fight, and he's a great guy. Obviously, when that cage door closes, I mean, that's business time. But before the fight, outside of the cage, everybody was very respectful, and this show is a great show to fight for. They take care of you. Like you said, they're pretty big regional shows, so it's a nice way to get my name out there fighting for them. But all around, I enjoyed this process. I enjoyed fighting for Shamrock, and they are a great promotion.
I've noticed in your previous fights, you fought at a few different weight classes. Where do you want to stick at moving forward? What weight class would you like to kind of make your home?
For right now, I'm staying at 155. I'm gonna stay here for a few more fights. I've got a few fights lined up through 2023, but considering towards the end of this year or in 2024, going back down to featherweight. The lighter weights are definitely my home, being a shorter guy. I fought at a lot of different heavier weights, but that was more when I wasn't training the right way and wasn't doing stuff the correct way. I've got everything figured out. I've got everything on point, and I'm gonna stay at lightweight, and then I'll be back at featherweight.
Okay, very good. Now, do you have a job as well, or are you just training full time right now?
I work construction. I was working for a company, but I just stopped working for them and kind of doing stuff on my own. I do construction and then running my own gym here at my hometown, Creston, Iowa. Got a nice little gym, Henry's Martial Arts, running it, and then a few other little side projects. So I'm just trying to get into anything I can, get a little bit of money in the wallet, and take care of my family, pay the bills.
Very good, man. And as far as training partners go, who are the main guys you have around you when you're in camp?
I have a lot of different main guys here in my place. I got about 6 to 10 of us that we all train together. And then the Heller crew at IMA up in Des Moines, I cross train with them. Charles, Colby, and Zach, all of them help me out quite a bit. And then there's tons of killers that go to IMA. So all are I just there isn't any specific guys, just all the people I have around me during my training camps. They take care of me, they make me better, and I appreciate everything that they've helped me with.
And you improved to 11-6 in your professional MMA career here. But this last fight, you said you got a couple of fights lined up here in 2023, and you're really trying to, pick up some steam and go big places here in the sport. What are you hoping to accomplish? If I could give you like a crystal ball and you could forecast what you want by the end of 2023, what are you hoping to accomplish?
I'd love to fight overseas. I love the promotion. Everybody's got that big goal of let's be a champion for UFC. Obviously, that's a huge goal. And if I were to make that, that'd be awesome. But my big goal would be trying to get a fight overseas. Go. There's Risen, One FC. I like shows over in Japan or anything. I just would like to fight for big shows, getting overseas, doing big things. It's cool to stay in the States, but to be able to travel and do martial arts, something I love, that's a big goal to me. Travel, explore the world, and then also punch people in the face and get paid for it. So it's fun.
I love it, man. Last question from me. Time frame of your next fight. Do you want to get a full camp in, or if the right opportunity presented itself, would you jump at it?
I got the right opportunity. I already kind of jumped at it. I got 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 7.5 weeks till my next fight. I already signed it. I can't really put out a whole lot of info yet until another week. But yeah, I already got it. I got 8 weeks. I'm right back in training camp, getting right back in the gym. Took a couple of days off, kind of gained a little bit of weight. I had to eat a little snack foods, man. I haven't ate nothing junk in 2 months, and so I had a couple of days, but now I'm right back in the gym, getting right back to training camp, and ready to kick some butt again here in the middle of April. So
All right, Josh. Well, listen, man, congrats on the big win over Mr. Augustine. Looking forward to seeing you back in there next in about 8 weeks. Before we do sign off, I want to kick it over to you, give you the floor, tell people where they can follow you on social media if you have it. And if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
All right, man. You can check me out Facebook, Josh Henry. You can go to Instagram, 145 Bam Bam. Or you can just keep watching me on fight headlines because I guarantee you're going to see my name again in some big headlines here over the next year. But you can just check me out, keep watching me on my Facebook or Instagram. And I would like to thank first and foremost my family for always sticking by me. Caitlin, you're always with me. My girls and my mom and Fogel, you guys are always there with me, and all my training partners and all the guys that help me at IMA. I love it. Thank you to everybody.